Announcement. The hemp revolution will not be televised. I repeat, the hemp revolution will not be televised. Welcome to the Hemp Revolution podcast, the global hotspot for the buzz and the cannabis. You can hear the stories of the green rush from the dreamers who are writing the rules, innovating the business, and changing history forever. Immerse yourself with the fascinating stories from the leaders in the hemp health revolution to learn how we are changing the game forever. Introducing your hosts, James Brinkerhoff and Sonia Gomez. Sonia Gomez, and today we are going to be talking about the three biggest challenges that existing CBD companies are having, as well as talking about the three things that you need to know before you start this business. Now, in today's episode, we are going to be sharing a couple of the stories that have been really transformational for me as a mentor in this industry and also as a patient and somebody whose life has been transformed by using these products. So as you have questions, as you have comments, as you have things to contribute, go ahead and comment below this video or wherever you see the comment box. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and check us out inside of the Leaf Academy and also on Facebook with Legalize It, Don't Criticize It, and The Green Rush. My husband and I, if you don't know, or if you haven't checked out any of our other episodes, we have a little over 25 years, maybe 30 years in the industry. We have literally worked the entire process from soil to sale, and I cannot tell you how fun and how exciting it is for me to watch the evolution of this industry. There has been so many people on what I call the Trail of Tears who have literally lost their livelihoods, their businesses, in some cases their families, their homesteads, to fight for their right to cultivate, to distribute, to share, to even use this incredible plant medicine. And you know, in 2009, I was a part of developing legislation that would legalize cannabis for a for-profit medical model. I've worked with some of the world's top legal teams, accounting teams, even local and government municipalities that have been instrumental in sort of framing and shaping and creating the foundation that this industry is flourishing on right now. So very exciting. And as a resident of Colorado, let me just be the first to say you're welcome. Okay. Because I'm originally from California, the cannabis mecca of the world. Now I live in the cannabis kingdom in Colorado, which was the first state to really do for-profit models. And honestly, the entrepreneurs who are pioneering this space or have pioneered this industry have had to go through some pretty incredible challenges. Number one has been banking. Actually, this doesn't really have any order. We'll say that the number one problem for businesses was, licensing. What were the qualifications for licensing? You had to be a 2-year resident. You had to have the time and money to basically set on fire because this business was like a new baby in the sense that any waking moment that you had was governed by what was happening in this industry and with your business, and your business was completely governed by what the industry was going to do, and that could change every single day. In normal business and in normal industry, if you're operating your own business, you know that you get your license, you are off to the races, you hit these certain checklists, you hit these certain milestones, and you can just run to the finish line. Well, that's not the case in cannabis or hemp. Every single day, there is the possibility of something changing that could very well compromise the entire state of your business. And the business owners in this space are running that risk every single day. Now, on the flip side, we are actually reaping an incredible reward. And honestly, the people who are interfacing and touching the plant every single day are not the ones who are rolling in the dough. It's the ancillary businesses or the side projects around this industry that are serving the industry. Those are the ones that are printing and minting right now. I'll give you an example of an ancillary business. grow stores. The people who provide all of the cultivation equipment are absolutely crushing it, putting numbers up on the board, infiltrating new markets, setting up for the projected markets. I mean, it's just so exciting. Another example would be education, the universities, the colleges, the online programs that are starting to offer you the opportunity to develop skill sets that will allow you to capitalize inside of the cannabis and hemp industry. There are also like branding, marketing, all of these different things that come into, the packaging. These are all ancillary businesses that are just totally capitalizing on the green rush. So I'll offer this. If you are currently operating a business, accounting, law firm, plumbing, electrician, if you have a retail space, if you are a landlord and you own commercial property, I would highly suggest that you start doing some of the research in your area, whether it's legal right now or not, and figure out how you can leverage your current skill sets or assets to jump into the green rushing river. Now, another huge challenge that the industry is facing as a whole is banking. Now, cannabis and hemp, slightly different, but for the cannabis industry, you still cannot get a bank account. And if you do have a bank account, you're like a golden goose. Okay. It's very rare. There's quite a few restrictions. And it's quite challenging. The tax on it is huge. The repercussions, the limitations all of these different things are incredibly limiting for a business to be able to grow. And so on the hemp side, which does allow for, national distribution, in some cases, international distribution, the merchant processing or your ability to collect payment and credit card processing is nearing impossible. Back in the beginning of June 1st, sort of final 2 weeks of May, we had what was called the Elevon Exodus, where over 40,000 businesses in the hemp and CBD space, existing brands and new brands, were shut down from their merchant processor. I mean, thousands and thousands and thousands of businesses were prevented from being able to operate. And the ripple effect of that to the patients was major. Consumers who are experiencing transformational results and are really leaning on these incredible brands to provide them with these life-changing products were no longer able to access or purchase with ease these products. And many businesses saw their revenues cut in thirds. In some cases, some businesses lost up to 70% of their revenues. And when you have a staff and when you have, reoccurring bills, even when you don't, it's startling to see that type of drastic dip in your sales, especially when you have the potential to be experiencing hockey stick type growth in your organization if you have all systems go and all systems firing. So that was a major challenge. And fortunately and unfortunately, there are a lot of people who are starting to surface now who are promising that they have solutions or that they will have solutions. Unfortunately, though, the rates are just astronomical, anywhere from 6% all the way up to 9%. Some of them are not domestic solutions. Most are actually international solutions. They come with high fees. They come with high reserves. They're taking anywhere from 15 to 39 cents per transaction, which means not only are they taking nearly 10% of your revenues, but they're now taking 30% of the first dollar that you make on every transaction. So it's very significant, extremely expensive, very frustrating for the business owners, but yet not enough to take us down, which is so exciting. Like I cannot believe that we are living in a time, and many people who I do business with today share with me that they never anticipated witnessing this type of evolution in this is a human evolution. This is going to be marked in history, similar to prohibition, similar to the market crash that started the Great Depression, similar to the world wars. The gold rush, the tech revolution, the oil boom, like these are just marks in history that we can refer back to to say that this was a major turning point for the way that our society has evolved and developed. And I'm so excited to be not only witnessing it, I'm not like a sideliner with popcorn and a Coke. Like, I am literally part of cutting the terrain and forging the path that is allowing people like yourselves to make your entry and to expand your reach and your impact and cultivating the financial income that most have only ever dreamed of. And in the cases where I'm working with larger organizations that, have multiple seven figures to be invested, they're hitting 10 million, 20 million, $100 million mark with their businesses, doing, 12 million a year plus. Even when I'm working with these larger organizations, we are still fascinated at the growth, at the speed in which we are gaining momentum and the reach that we are having globally. This is truly a global revolution, and we are seeing a global economy united through the acceptance and education and distribution of this plant and all of its derivatives. So such an exciting thing to watch. Action item for you here is, and something that you should be aware of, is it's all in your relationships. Banking has never been easy, even for the everyday consumer, even for the everyday business owner. Banking is banking, and they're all here. Everybody wants their share of your hard work. The cannabis and hemp space is no different, but I will tell you that it is all in who you know. Not what you know, but who you know, because you have to be hyper aware of the fact that you are just one phone call away. You are one relationship away from transformation. You're one relationship and one phone call away from an opportunity to solve your biggest problem in your business or to solve the biggest problem in your life and to gain the momentum or transformation that you have wanted or are looking for. And banking is no different. As a matter of fact, inside of my Emerald Circle, which is an annual membership mastermind that we offer to hemp and cannabis companies, and we really focus on, product selection, manufacturing, compliance. We offer banking solutions, merchant processing at 3% or less, which is cutting the market share in half. Like I mentioned, most other merchant processors are processing at about 6.7% or higher. We're able to process at just 3%, as well as manufacturing, which I'll get into here in just a second. Manufacturing and product standard and compliance, I bank into all sort of one big problem, which is product, and the third biggest challenge in the industry. But in the Emerald Circle Mastermind, we solved that problem by finding a manufacturer that's done over $23 billion in sales around the world for nutraceuticals, vitamins, and supplements, has made the transition into CBD over the last 15 years. And in that time period has been able to create products that have quite literally shrink tumors, eliminated cancers, helped develop real recoveries for real people who had very real diagnoses. And whether you're a mother with a sick child or a child with a sick mother or a grandmother or grandfather who's trying to get their mobility back, or a professional who's losing sleep and has anxiety from the pressures of their job, whatever it is that you are managing or dealing with on a daily basis, there is a solution. And I think that is one of the most exciting things about my Emerald Circle, is the fact that we are solution oriented, and every single problem that we have come across in this industry, whether it's legal and compliance or getting you started and established so that you can experience 200, 300, 400% growth in your first year of business, making those strategic alliances that allows your brand to infiltrate new markets, getting you established in retail stores, or even helping with banking, marketing, advertising, and diversifying the way that your company is able to impact the local communities that you're serving. We are a solution-oriented group and a private group, so it's intimate and it is vulnerable and it's nitty and it's gritty, and yet so beautiful and fascinating. And we build in vacations that the whole family is connected to. I have 4 kids, and I know that there's a lot of mama and papapreneurs out there who are putting their hand into the Green Rush River right now. And we need and want a way to build our business, collaborate with like-minded people, mastermind, and through the things that can and will prevent your success. Celebrate the things that you have overcome and the milestones that you have hit. We get to do all of this inside of an incredible and beautiful environment. So one of the things that I will say to this measure is we have an opportunity here, unlike any other, to really set the path in front of us that we want to be living. This is not another cookie cutter industry that requires you to have a specific degree or a certain level of experience or, years put onto the map of sacrifice. This is truly an industry that with a little bit of time and effort and, some investment capital, that you will be able to acquire the new skills that you need to join the industry. You'll be able to develop you'll be able to tailor your existing skill sets and assets to fit the new and emerging marketplaces. And you can be a part of history while you are building your business and your brand and collaborating with a global family that is on the same mission and movement that we are. And we have a rare and small opportunity to do that outside of the confines of big business, as it's been written. Big pharma, big tobacco, big alcohol, big industry are coming in here, grabbing their foothold. And we have a very fragile window of time here where you can say, yes, I want in, I'm doing this, put me in the circle so that I can get access to the things and tools that I need in order to find my space and own it. So with that being said, challenge number 3 is manufacturing products and compliance. And I pair the two of them together because without a compliant manufacturer, and I don't mean in today's world, but in thinking of tomorrow's compliance, thinking of tomorrow's set of rules, thinking and knowing and being ahead of what the 3-letter agencies are going to do to regulate this industry. The FDA, the DEA, the DSHA or DESHA, I mean, all of these different organizations that are coming in here to regulate or take market share of what's happening in this industry. I even say limit what we will be able to do in this industry is very, very important to be aware of. And my guidance and my little bit of added support here, if there's one piece of way that you can take away from this, is there is a way to do the thing that you want to do most. And generally there is a way, again, you're just one relationship away from being able to take this approach, but there is a way to work inside of the current limitations that set you up for future success, but also allows you to have a solid foothold in today's marketplace. I've personally been working with one of the world's leading compliance officers and auditors for the FDA. And everything that we do inside of the Emerald Circle Mastermind is on a monthly review, or more often if we know that something is coming down the pipeline. But every single one of our members gets a review on their website, gets a review on their banking, gets a review in their marketing materials. And we collaborate and share sometimes 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks ahead of time what is coming down the pipeline, so that we have enough time to prepare to say, okay, we can't say this. The FTC is limiting how we can use this language. The FDA is limiting how we can label this bottle. And we get really, really specific on what we can do, how we can do it, so that we can be successful and not run the risk of losing our investment for product inventory or our websites or, whatever it is. There are quite a few limitations, and you have to be able to navigate your way through it, because it's not impossible, but a board game would not be fun if you could just scoot right to the finish line. People wouldn't play crossword puzzles if the words were already set in place. Like, the whole point of life, I think, and the way that the obstacles are set up and the celebrations are set up, it is to keep us engaged. It's to keep us excited. It's to keep us young. And although many people buckle under the pressure, there are a select few who understand the power of community, who understand the power of togetherness, and also the power of one, because it's one relationship that you have and one relationship that somebody else has and one relationship that that person has that can help create your transformation. And I just use the Emerald Circle as an example because we are one of the only industry specific membership based masterminds that is focused not only on connections, like the NCIA, which is an incredible cannabis based organization and education for both B2C and B2B resources. They host some of the industry's largest networking events and, expos and things like that. But even though the NCIA is a membership-based association, at bare minimum membership, you're getting a ticket to an event or, an introduction here, or you get to get their newsletter and updates. And honestly, it's on such a massive scale that the intimacy is lost and the vulnerability doesn't matter because there's no one to really connect to about it unless you're extremely aggressive. The reason why the Emerald Circle was structured the way that it was is because we wanted to give you guys the intimacy, the opportunity for vulnerability and direct connections to the people that we heard you say you needed to be connected to in order to hit that next milestone. We listen for those key relationships. We listen for those key resources. We listen for those key tools that you're looking for to accelerate your learning process or accelerate your growth with the least amount of obstacles in place. And the entire industry is not built off of that, but we are a very tight-knit family. The industry is a very small microcosm as far as who who's involved, who are the movers and shakers here, and the people who are making moves and are making a difference that you need and want to be connected to. They're becoming less and less and less available to mainstream people because of how quickly things are moving. And the industry as a whole has really had 3 tiers of evolution. At first, it was the Straganonas, the woodland fairies, the quote unquote hippies who retreated to the hills many, many years and decades back to, claim their freedom and own their own sense of living, to create the life that they wanted to be living, to have the kind of food that they wanted to eat and the kind of community that they wanted to raise their kids in and the kind of education that they wanted to provide themselves, each other, and the next generation. And there was really this whole movement of people who retreated up to the hills and learned how to self-care. They learned how to tap into their awareness and be a support system to their fellow neighbor. And that was the type of community that I was raised in. So when I came into mainstream cannabis and I saw a lot of those people trying their hand at running a mainstream business, it was exhilarating and exciting and terrifying all at the same time, because honestly, mainstream business ate up a lot of the people who we really should have turned this over to, the people who had worked out the strains and stabilized the genetics, the people who had been making medicines for years and years and years and had hundreds of case studies from their local communities on how these plant derivatives were transforming their lives. The practitioners who were spending the quality time that they needed with their patients to really create the transformation and healing stories that we're celebrating today. That was the first tier. And the second tier were the ones who came in to develop legislation and say, okay, let's fix the problems that California made when they put 215 into place. That's where I came in. Now the third tier is what we're looking at, which after the mom and pop shops have been eliminated and brands have started to take over the market, and companies like Native Roots are infiltrating a global marketplace into Canada and all across the US and, so on and so forth. We are starting to see big business come in here. The Wrigley's organization, Jelly Beans, Shikai. We're seeing skincare coming in. We're seeing beauty products being developed, bath products, mommy and me stuff, and sport specific stuff. And now we're really starting to establish VC money is coming in and it's getting bigger and bigger. But that does not mean that there is not still space for everyday startups to get involved here, because truly we are in the first 18 months to 3 years of business in the hemp space. Sure, people have been creating products for far longer, and people have been, selling products for maybe 3 years now. But I'll tell you, even in the first 3 years of the industry, we are in its infancy. And we have so much to look forward to as far as the evolution, and the rules have not even been made yet. We are still making those up as we go along, and there is so much to celebrate. I can't even tell you how exciting it is. As a matter of fact, some of our members here who are niching down into solving problems like getting better sleep, we have a product called Epic Sleep that I've been taking. One of our mastermind members, Treeline Organics, is the formulator behind that. And it's probably one of the best tools I've ever put into my medicine cabinet for rest. We have an organization that is developing pet treats and is waiting for the cannabis market to open so that they can infiltrate and make that lateral move over. We have a company called VitaFlow Sport. Yeah, VitaFlow Sport, and they are specific for golfing and the sporting industry, and they're huge. We're getting ready to put them into multiple retail stores across the country, and it's just so exciting to see, how companies go from their infancy in concept to really coming to life and being displayed in national or international marketplaces. And I can't wait to celebrate all of the success that we'll be seeing with our new members, as well as the transformational stories that I'll be hearing from the people who are utilizing their brands. A better part of our career, James and myself, has been a part of product quality examination and really looking at the end brand. If you take shampoo, if you compare it to shampoo, for instance, or cosmetic industry, the health and beauty industry, most beauty products or cosmetic products like shampoo or makeup, for instance, is owned by Estee Lauder or L'Oreal. Estee Lauder is, a mainstream brand, but they are targeting a specific marketplace, and all of the sub brands that are underneath that are catering to the rest of the marketplaces. So now this one company owns multiple brands, and whether or not you know it, the brand you're buying is still feeding the same mother company. Well, similar things are happening with the CBD industry, where multiple brands are being produced by one manufacturer, and generally that manufacturer does not have the necessary certifications to help them step into the future. For instance, being GMP certified, having the ISO certification, having COAs or certificate of analysis to show you what is inside of the product and how many active cannabinoids are actually in the brand that you're using. But the marketing is just on point. So we are seeing a lot of what we call black hat marketing happening, where in a churn and burn system, where you might see advertisements and these incredible blowout deals available 1 week to the next. And then, 2 weeks later, you can't find the brand anywhere, because they're selling hundreds and thousands, if not millions of dollars in product that are delivering little to no results. So who you're sourcing your product from, how that product is being developed, who it's being tested by, what the batch tests are saying as far as contaminants, molds, active cannabinoids, terpene or flavonoid profiles. And if you don't know what I'm talking about and it all sounds like gibberish, you can check out the Green Rush on Facebook, Legalize It, Don't Criticize It on Facebook, or one of our courses with the Leaf Academy that dives into some of these basic 101 terms that I'm sharing and some of the more in-depth information that you need to know as you are A, getting started with your own business, B, trying to grow and scale your business and are needing extra added resources, or if you're just a patient, not just a patient because you're the heart of everything that we do, but if you're a patient and you are just trying to figure out which brand is going to produce the best results for you and your specific body, because you are one unique body out of 7 billion people in the world, and hemp and cannabis happen to be one of those unique medicines that treats every one body independently or individually. So Sure, we can offer blanket statements, but I'm not in the business of blankets. I like for you to know what kind of individual results you can expect from a brand, which is why I'm working with brands to develop that one unique selling point that is going to help you get the results that you're looking for. So with that being said, that's a conversation about the compliance piece. The other challenge with manufacturing is the fact that we're having to invest so much upfront capital that it's nearly impossible for people to, what ends up happening is they invest all their money into inventory, anticipating a blowout sale, and then they have no money to put into marketing, and they're sitting on all of their inventory. It's a vicious cycle of failure. So what we have created with the Emerald Circle is a way for you to be able to access over 200 brands with no minimum quantity order or no MOQs built in, which means all you have to do is develop your brand imagery, your name, understand your marketplace and the avatar that you're going to be serving and the problem that you're going to be solving for them. And we're able to take that information, find you the best delivery system that will produce the best results, and then offer you the ability to market that product without having to worry about packaging, formulating, shipping, labeling, and delivering it to your customer. We literally take care of everything from the time that you sell the product all the way to the time that your consumer gets to take your product. And we have solved the problem of marketing. So the other challenge with it is the fact that now you have a stabilized product. Now you didn't have to invest a bunch of money into inventory, but how are you going to market your product if you only have $3,000 to $5,000 a month to be able to invest into marketing? And truthfully, you need $10,000, $20,000 a month to be able to hit those six-figure marks that everybody is talking about. Not everybody has that type of capital to put in towards their business, whether or not it's cannabis. And the messed up thing is that, I'll just say it, it's fucked up that banks are they don't even offer you a loan to get started here. So financing is another huge issue. We'll have that be our bonus track. We'll have that be our bonus challenge. But in the manufacturing piece, if you don't have stabilized product that you're sourcing from a facility that is set up to stand the tests of time with you, you could be left making a very expensive investment into a product that you may or may not be able to sell if you're not properly capitalized for the marketing. So let's talk about marketing for a second, since it's our bonus challenge. Our bonus challenge marketing is, as I mentioned before, you have to have a significant amount of income to be able to market. And even if you did have that income, people who are making 6-7 figures, even on a monthly basis with their brands are set to fail right now, because you can't even run compliant marketing advertising on the internet. Google, Yahoo, Bing, Facebook, Instagram have all limited the amount of exposure or advertising you can do in order to grow your business. And the messed up thing about that is the entire ecosystem of consumerism is built off of your ability to market a product or service. So at every turn, we are looking at a major challenge or pothole that could prevent you, make or break your business. But again, innovation is the key to evolution. We have to innovate and exceed. So James and myself, we built an audience of over 1 million people in less than 18 months. We've reached over 27 million people around the world. We've had 50 million people plus view our videos and content. We have over 2,500 articles published on the internet right now on our own blog. And we have done all of this compliantly through the major media platforms. And because we are providing value into the marketplace, we are owning market share of the exposure and education that is out in the world right now. Sure, we have what some people may call competitors, but in fact, I don't look at them as competitors. I look at them as pioneers, and we are fellow pioneers. And I'm of the opinion that is together as one. If we are all doing something that is lifting up the industry and that is setting the standard of how we operate and helping to create the rules in which we can be successful while we follow, that to me is awesome. And I want to be a part of that movement. And I want to collaborate and even compete with the people who are fit to run the race with me. I want to compete with them because it keeps my game sharp and it shows me that we are on the right track. Without competition, you're the only one, and which means that you're not in the right market. So I'm super excited to be where we are and to have accomplished what we've accomplished, and even more excited to help you create the change and transformation that you're looking for, whether it's financially or through your health and well-being. There's multiple resources that are available for you inside of this network. So what we've done as far as marketing goes is we've refocused, instead of running direct response marketing, which is the most traditional sense of marketing, we are actually doing education and community-based marketing and helping people and our brands inside of the Emerald Circle. We are helping them build their own in-house traffic solutions by pulling communities together around passion and purpose. Our passion and purpose is legalizing cannabis and hemp and making sure that the people who want and need this product have safe and legal access to top quality brands. We also want to set the standard for the industry and help people understand which products are actually viable and will provide the results that you're looking for without putting a major hole in your pocket. We get it. Money and time is fragile and quite sensitive when you are on a fixed income or a limited budget, or you're trying to have a family and pay for college and running, paying car payments and all of this stuff. Who can afford $200, $300, $400 for a bottle of CBD that may or may not work? So we really hold the industry's feet to the fire in creating quality products. And when they don't have it and they want it, because I think a lot of the challenges that we're seeing in the industry is not because there's bad people at the steering wheel. I think the challenge is really that people just don't have access or proper information out there to be able to see the results that they're looking for or need in order to push the needle forward. So it's just such a unique place to be in right now. And I'm really, really encouraging those of you who are interested in starting the business. Maybe you've heard that this is a cash-rich industry and you just want to know how to tap in. Maybe you are an investor and you want to take a look at what businesses are growing quickly and how you can get a foothold in this with the right company that will give you the kinds of returns that you're looking for. Or perhaps you have a current skill set or would like to develop a new skill set and are looking for some resources to be able to do that. Please, please, please reach out. You can shoot us over an email or check us out on Facebook or put a comment here below this video or wherever you see the comment box. We want to hear from you. We want to know what you think, what you feel, and what questions you have so that we can answer them and bring on some badass experts who can answer your burning questions. And, for some final thoughts here, I hope that was really super valuable for you guys and that you absolutely loved spending this time with me. Some little tips and tricks for you guys who are consumers. The 3 things that you need to be aware of as you are getting into this industry are product quality. Make sure that you are picking brands that are tested, try and true, are fully transparent and willing and able to show you the test results that they have. Also, make sure that you are purchasing products that are properly priced. You are looking for active cannabinoids and really look into the niche markets that are being developed here. Don't just buy a Me Too brand because you see gummy bears or you see pet treats or you see a topical. Really do some research into the brand efficacy and see where they're sourcing from and what kind of things that you're looking for. If it's isolate, it's garbage. Don't even fuck with it. Look for broad spectrum or full spectrum products that are, unique and niched down. Meaning if you're looking for a sleep product, look for a sleep CBD product or look for the sleepy cannabinoid, which is CBN. I have a great recommendation. Try Treeline Organics. They're amazing. We're actually going to be running a promotion for them here shortly, but they're absolutely incredible. I use it. My kids use it. We're just having better, more restful sleep using this little, natural supplement. I don't know if I can legally say that, but using this natural product that is really improving the way that we are resting and therefore improving the way that we are functioning every day. If you are a golfer or like to play tennis, look for a sport activated CBD product like VitaFlow Sport. They're absolutely incredible. And these are just examples of people who have, stepped out of the generalization of CBD or cannabis and really started to niche down to solve specific problems. And that their focus and understanding of that challenge is much deeper than another brand who's just trying to push products down your throat. So highly suggest that you look for niches and that you look for niche products who can serve your specific needs. And then finally is, social and economical expectation. We as a community, as a society, I consider us to be family. Every family is a part of a community, is a part of a neighborhood, who's a part of a community, who is part of a city and a state and a country. And that ripple effect of you and your impact, just like I tell my businesses, the ripple effect that you and your business and your brand are making into your families, into your communities, in your circle of influence, out into the state and into the country and into the world, the responsibility that we have to give back our time, our money, our resources, our relationships, the expectation that we can just build and grow our businesses, make a ton of money, and then disappear is absolutely gone. That is a generic way of thinking about business. This industry has the opportunity to transform the way that things have been done, the way that things are being done, and they will be done. And everything that I do is thinking about how I'm going to set things up for the next generation. I am a mother of 4. I'm a mamapreneur. My husband's a papapreneur. And everything that we do as a cannapreneurs is setting up the future for the next generation so that they can flourish and thrive in this amazing planet that we have a responsibility for caring for and all of its creation. The 4-leggeds, the 2-leggeds, the water sources, the mineral resources, all of the things that make us thrive as living organisms, food, water, air, shelter. All of the incredible industries that serve those basic needs. Make sure that you are giving your money and your time and your attention. And if you are building a company, make sure that your social and economic awareness and contributions are built into that. Because I'll tell you this, the people that are buying your products are not buying them because of your products. They're buying them because of who you are and what your products do for them. And even if the CBD buzz is going to wear off eventually, just like when you drink alcohol, the buzz that you get wears off eventually, and the side effects of that can often be painful. I don't want to see that happen in the CBD industry, and that's why I spend so much time educating. That's why I spend so much time advocating for the change, because I believe that we can be better. I believe that we should do better, and I believe that in an industry we can do better. So whether you're a consumer or if you're a business, think about the impact and the ripple effect of your actions and decision making every single day. Money is going to be made either way. Right now, you're asking the question, how can I get into the industry? How can I make the most money? Pretty soon, the question is going to shift to, how can I stand apart when all of these other brands are saturating the market? And I'll tell you that our consumers, our patients, our clients, the people that we serve every day, they're no dummies. And pretty soon they'll stop buying because of your glossy advertisements or kick-ass deals. Our consumers are going to start buying because not what you have, but who you are and what you do. And that is what they're going to end up wanting to support. And there's an age-old saying in business, people don't buy products, they buy people. Find something, someone in your organization that has a purpose, not just a passion. Passion is enough to get you so far. But when you pair passion and purpose behind a product, that is when you can really see the transformation that is possible with this incredible plant. So thanks so much for tuning in. This was another episode of On the Rise podcast. I'm your host, Sonia Gomez, and we will be kicking ass with more content later on this week. Check us out at medicalsecrets.com, Legalize It, Don't Criticize It, and the Leaf Academy for more information. And if you want more information on the Emerald Circle Mastermind, go ahead and just comment right here or email us at sonia@sojmedia.com, and we will get out some information to you and find out if you are a good fit to join our community while you save time, money, and energy collaborating with some of the industries and world's leaders in the cannabis and hemp space. Much love to you all. Thanks for listening to another Rockstar episode of the Hemp Revolution podcast. I'm your host, Sonia Gomez, and just for you, we took notes on this episode along with the links and other resources mentioned inside of today's show. Get them for free right now by going to theemeraldcircle.com. Now, if you want more on this, please subscribe to the show on Apple Podcast or wherever you like to listen, and you will be automatically entered in to our monthly giveaway where you can get swag bags, all kinds of cool gifts and discounts from our guests, and exclusive offers that are only mentioned right here in the Hemp Revolution podcast. I can't wait for you to share this with your friends. With your help, we've been able to impact millions of people's lives around the world with the truth about hemp and cannabis. And we know that you love us so much that you're going to leave a review and rate us right now on your favorite platform to absorb content just like this. Now, we challenge you to dream big and love the life that you live. Thanks so much, and we hope to see you on our next episode of the Hemp Revolution podcast. Ciao for now.